Most people do not take heed of the things they encountered, nor do they grasp them, even when they have learned about them, although they suppose they do. Heraclitus, FR 57. Dawdleston, 4 miles southwest of Chester, in the anachronistic enclave of Cheshire on the Welsh side of the Dee. Take the Kennerton Road from Chester, leave behind the suburbs of Westminster Park and Loch, turn left through the dark ribbons of Bretton Woods, Dawdleston, 1 mile. Ahead, flat Cheshire farmland runs carelessly towards the first Welsh hills, Hope Mountain, and beyond that the high moors of Monera. Along the lane appear the chicken wire and the weatherboarding of the hunt kennels. The maize fields and ancient Greenwalls farm are hidden by decaying orchards. The road is uneven, showing the effects of constant neglect in the filth of tractors and animals it by turns. A sharp right and left, and there, tucked shyly into the verge, is the village sign. Half the village is a dormer for the heavily mortgaged. The rest live on 2 roads. Church Road connects at one end the village school and a small council estate to the Red Lion Church and Village Hall at the other. Bisecting Church Road is Kennerton Road, which contains 2 more pivots of village life. Firstly, Mr. Hughes's shop and post office, chapel stores, and further along the farm from which milk deliveries are organized early in the morning. The name Chapel Stores bears testimony to some of the dissonant influences acting upon this otherwise quiet, typical Cheshire village. Welsh nonconformists built the tiny chapel, flourished briefly, then withdrew, leaving only the building. Facing it are the hard Roman brick houses built by the Duke of Westminster, which represent the deeply conservative tenure of rural life. Each has a W picked out in blue bricks across the upper story as a permanent reminder of the all-pervading influence of the English aristocracy. Many of the Duke's villages and the hamlets find their names echoed in the expensive area of London, Belgravia, Eccleston Square, Eaton Square, but not Dudleston, for in truth Dudleston was never entirely beholden to the Grosvenors, and there it rests between the Welsh border, a mile across the drained and empty lands of the Burton Meadows and the Duke's estate at Eden. From the Welsh side, from town, ditch, and gully, Dudleston can be seen clearly straggling a low ridge above the meadows. A castle mound and its trees form one landmark, and the twin silage towers of Moat Farm another. But clumps of trees and then ones and twos break up the middle distance. This settlement, 1,000 years old in 1982, settled for insignificance centuries ago. It is a place both confident and obscure. Duddleston is not quite spoilt, and consequently, the village is brimley of would-be squires, aspiring businessmen, affecting concern and love for the slower, more sentimental pace of rural life. So the Red Line car park has its scattering of XJSs and Porsches, but very few are in awe of this kind of ostentation. The landlord's coffer increase at the same rate as the girth of his sons, said someone kindly, but equally frank Cummins, a die-hard villager in a demob hat and coat, will be found fixing planks with second-hand nails. The village has no dominant group, and although the ebb and flow of traffic along its roads point to many changes, it is an even-tempered place. Sometimes the tempo changes at weekend, when the roar of motorcycles and modified Ford Escorts marks closely timed, or the sounds of a party drift across the houses. For the rest, the years bring noisy adolescents to the phone box at the juncture to kick footballs, tin cans, and occasionally each other, until they tire, grow older, and gain entry to the pubs, falling in and out of love, and the minicabs which ply to form the city clubs. Meadow Cottage stands between Chapel Stores and the phone box, the third in a row of 4 tiny 18th century dwellings facing into Kennerton Road, or onto Kennerton Road. It is accessible at the front from Kennerton Road and at the rear by Church Road. The village passes the door. Children throw wrappers and Coke cans into the small front gardens across the knee-high brick wall. In the sharp, raw morning, cars queued alongside its gates, their engines ticking overexcitedly clog up the road by the shop. This is my house. It is late autumn 1984. And that is the prologue for the book that was inspired by this story. It's from Ken Webster. It's called The Vertical Plane. I'm not going to read it. I just wanted to share the beginning, the prologue, so that everybody has an idea of what kind of setting we're talking about when I read more about this. This is going to be taken off of an article from North Wales Live, and it concerns this story of what I'm about to say, and it goes by ghost typing in 1980s computer accuses couple of stealing his house. Okay, the couple who were renovating an 18th century cottage reported strange goings-ons in their home. The case of an alleged haunting 1980s computer that started communicating with a teacher in archaic English has baffled paranormal investigators for over 35 years now. Known as the Duddleston Messages, they were a series of communications a teacher received on a BBC microcomputer in 1985. This was before the internet was commonplace, and the computer was not connected to a network. The bizarre events sparked theories ranging from an elaborate hoax to an angry ghost. Some even suggest it was an attempt from both the past and the future to communicate with the present, but it all started with a set of mysterious footprints. The story resurfaced recently in a blog written by Allison Troutner for the website HowStuffWorks.com. In 1985, Ken Webster and his girlfriend Debbie had recently moved into and were renovating the dilapidated 18th century meadow cottage in the village of Dodleston in Cheshire, close to the North Wales border. During renovations, the couple noticed strange six-toed footprints in the dust, which seemed to walk up the wall between the bathroom and kitchen. Feeling sure it was a prank, perhaps, from some mischievous previous owner, Ken painted over the footprints and thought they were gone for good. The next day, the footprints returned. Over the next few weeks, the couple experienced a series of incidents that made them feel as though they were not quite alone. Tins of cat food had been neatly stacked in a pyramid, and an eerie presence was felt in the cottage. Ken was working as a teacher at a local school and had brought home a BBC micro computer he had borrowed. This was the point things really got weird. Soon after the computer was set up, typed messages started to appear on his monitor. The first message appeared in the form of an ominous poem. More messages soon followed. The writer appeared to be able to see both Ken and Debbie and asked about who they are before accusing them of stealing his house. Days later, a second equally strange message came through, appearing to be written in some archaic version of English. It said, I wrote on behalf of many, what strange words you speak. You are a worthy, good man who has a fanciful woman, and you live in my house, who dwell in my house, with lights which the devil makes. It was a great crime to have stolen, bribed my house. L.W. Over the next year and a half, more messages continued to appear. Committed to discovering who was behind them, Ken asked a series of questions to try and find out the identity of the writer. The presence appeared to be able to see the couple in the house. The writer, after initially giving his name as Lucas, confessed his name was Thomas Harden, or Hawarden. Vicar with this name did appear to live around this time at a church in Gloucestershire. It was then Thomas said he had been in communication with a friend from 2109. Ken, intrigued, wrote a message to 2109 on the computer and received a message. The message read, "Try to understand that you three have a purpose that shall, in your lifetime, change the face of history."